Hey folks, so a lot of you are searching whether something like Ideogram or ChatGPT is better for creating logos. Now, if you go as per the answer here in the AI overview, it simply says that, hey, Ideogram 3.0 is superior, but what it is comparing against is ChatGPT, which is present via Dolly 3. But if you see, then ChatGPT recently got an upgrade. It got GPT image 1.5 in December 2025. Dolly 3 is an older model. And by the way, I'm recording this on 12th of March. So this model is just about 2 months old. So now what I did is that let's actually put these things to the test. I simply went to ChatGPT and I told it, hey, I want to test a few platforms and see how well they can create logos. Can you suggest some text prompts I can use to test them, right? And then it just gave me a bunch of text prompts. Now, the reason why I tell you this is that if you want to use AI in your workflows, then it's just as simple as asking AI to do anything for you. So like I was wondering here that how do I compare these platforms? I did not think much about it. I simply asked ChatGPT and it told me, hey, that these are the text prompts that you can use. So if you have anything in mind and you're not sure how to go about it, simply ask ChatGPT, simply ask Gemini, any AI model that you want to ask, and they will help you in going about it. Okay. Now let's get to the actual comparisons. So what I ended up doing is that I picked 3 prompts from this selection, and these are the 3 ones that I picked. Okay, so the first one is a modern minimal logo for a tech startup called Novabyte. Clean geometric shapes, futuristic typography, simple color palette, electric blue and white, flat design. Just a moment, I will fix the focus. Yep, okay. Blue and white, flat design, professional branding style. So this doesn't have a lot of detail about what exactly is Novabyte. So it's the AI models have a lot of room for creativity here. They can create any kind of logo that they want. We are just saying, hey, it should have just futuristic typography and a simple color palette, and we are just defining the colors here. And we just simply mention flat design. Otherwise, they just AI is completely at. We have given full creative liberty to create the logo however we want. The next prompt is about a transparent, elegant luxury logo for a high-end watch brand called Aurelian. Gold and black color scheme, minimalistic monogram emblem, and then refined typography, premium brand identity. Ensure the logo image is a transparent PNG. So here I just wanted to see whether whether these models can generate transparent PNGs, because if you are looking to create a logo, then there is a good amount of in fact, I would say it's likely that you would want a transparent image. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with it, then most images we have got either the most common format of images that we have is JPG and PNG. JPG images usually have a solid background. Transparent PNG images are transparent. So you can, let's say, put them on something like white backdrop or a black backdrop, and they won't have like let's say if you have a JPG image which has a white background and your website has a dark theme, then if you just add the dark JPG image, if you add the white JPG image, the JPG image with the white background on the dark backdrop, then it will look weird, right? Like the dark mode will then sort of appear messed up because the dark image is on top of a white, the white image is on top of a dark background. So it won't make sense, right? So that's why it's important that these models should be able to generate a transparent PNG. And then finally, we have a modern eco-friendly logo for a sustainable company called Green Pulse. Leaf-inspired icon, fresh green palette, simple, clean vector design. So as you will see, in the first logo prompt, we have given AI full creative liberty on how it wants to create the logo for Novabyte. We have just told it that, hey, just use this electric blue and white color. That's about it. In the second prompt, we are slightly more specific. We are saying, hey, this is for a watch brand called Aurelian, and these are the colors that you should use. So we will see how it does that. And then finally, we are telling it, hey, this is an eco-friendly logo for a company called Green Pulse. Now, Green Pulse, let's see how they decipher this name and how they implement it. Ideally, since there is pulse in the name, they should use that in a certain way, right? And then we also specify that there should be a leaf inspired icon and there should be a green color palette. Simple, clean vector design. Now let's see how these models actually performed. Okay, so here are the results for the first logo. Okay, and by the way, I am going to be using 3 models here. Okay, I know you initially wanted to just know how ChatGPT performs, ChatGPT and Ideogram perform, but we have a new king in the town, which is called as Nano Banana 2 by Google. So we are also going to check this out, and I'm using the free plans of all. So you can see here that this is the free plan for ChatGPT. And then here it is also asking me to upgrade. So this is the free plan as well. And then we have Ideogram. And again, I am on the free plan here, as you can see. Okay, so this is what we get for this prompt. For Novabyte, this is what ChatGPT ended up coming up with. So, well, take a moment and you can see whether this logo matches your expectations or not. And but just keep in mind, just a reminder that this is a modern minimalist logo for a tech startup called Novabyte. Clean geometric shapes, future typography, and then we told it to use electric blue and white. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So yes, did it use the colors blue and white? Yes, it did that. And did it use a minimalist logo? I wouldn't call it exactly minimal, but yeah, you can argue it is. So this is very subjective. Design is subjective, but we will see. Okay, so you can make up your judgment on how that logo was. Now let's talk about Nano Banana. Again, the issue that we have here is that we asked it to use a simple color palette that is electric blue and white. What it ended up doing here is that it ended up coming up with a blue black backdrop, and it didn't use the blue color exactly in the image. Now, the thing that you have to keep in mind here is that as we will eventually see, that all these models are good. Okay, there is not that, hey, that this model is the king, this one is not. We will see. Okay, but all these models are good. It's not, okay, there are certain differences between all these models, but if you think that that these changes are required to the image, for example, here Google Nano Banana shouldn't have used blue in the backdrop, it should have used blue in the logo itself, then I can simply ask it, hey, you should use blue in the logo, not as the backdrop for the image, and it will come up with the new logo that makes those changes. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And then we have this, and then this is what Ideogram came up with. So it came up with 4 renderings, and by the way, you get about 20 credits in the free plan each day, and it came up with 4 generations, and these 4 generations cost each of these 4 generations cost, not each, these 4 as a collection, they cost 2 credits. Okay, so you can create about 10 images. And another thing that you should know is that if I go and open this in a new tab, then just note here that in the free plan, you can't really control the number of images. Okay, as you can see, there is this blocked icon that we have, so I am not able to set it to 1, and if I click on it, then it simply asks me to upgrade. Okay, so you can upgrade if you want, but this is what we have. And by the way, since we are talking about images, let's quickly take a look at the settings that we have. So for each generation, I use the 3.0 latest model. They have some older models as well, which is Ideogram 2.0, etc., and even 1.0, but I didn't use those. I simply used the latest model, and then 4 images were selected. The aspect ratio was 1:1, and these are the options that we have. So certain aspect ratios are locked for premium plans, but these are the ones. We have a good amount of variety which is available for in the free plan. And then here, this is the magic prompt option. I simply set it as auto. It is up to Ideogram if it wants to use this or not. And then this is the change visibility icon. By default, if you're on the free plan, then this is something which is very important that you should keep in mind, that anyone can see and use. And if you want unpublished, if you want to keep your generations private, then you have to upgrade to a paid tier. So this is something which is very important if you are sort of evaluating whether ChatGPT is better or Ideogram is better. Then do keep in mind that on Ideogram all your generations will be public. You can't turn them private if you are not on one of their paid tiers. Okay, so just something to keep in mind. And so yeah, these let's take a look at the generations that Ideogram came up with. So yes, did it follow the prompt? Yes, it used white and it also used blue in the logo itself. This is the first generation. This is the second one. And here we can see that it didn't use white like we mentioned in the prompt. It didn't use white. Okay, so that is something, but we have more variety. So, and again here, as you can see, it didn't use white. And then lastly here, it didn't use white again. Okay, so I can zoom in as well and you can see that it hasn't used white. But so out of if we sort of go simply as per prompt adherence, then yes, I would say that the leaders here are clearly Ideogram did that. But I would say that personally I kind of like Ideogram's image more here. So again, these are the three that we have. This is that you have for this is what ChatGPT generated, this is what Gemini generated, and this is what Ideogram generated. So personally, I think I like this design more, but again, this is a very subjective call, so you can decide what you want. But the good thing you have to keep in mind is that on the free plan, I think ChatGPT currently allows you to generate 5 images in a day. And the same Google has a similar limit. But another thing that you have to note here is that this the cap that they have on the free plan is sort of a rolling limit. Sometimes they allow you to generate 3 images, sometimes 5. But usually the range that I have seen is 3 to 5. So you should be able to do generate 3 images. But if you are using something like Ideogram, then you can generate 10 images. And in each of generation, you will get 4 images. This is just for the free plan. If you are on the paid tier, then yes, of course, you do get higher limits. Okay, so this is the first one that we have. And then now let's look at the second prompt. So the second prompt was transparent, elegant, luxury logo for a high-end watch brand called Aurelian. Gold and black color scheme, minimalist monogram emblem, refined typography, premium brand identity, ensure the logo image is a transparent PNG. So the ChatGPT prompt that it gave was this. I just simply added the word transparent before elegant, and then at the end I just added a sentence that, hey, I want a transparent image, just ensure you do that. Okay, so this is what it came up with. Now yes, did it let's take a quick look at whether it followed the prompt. So yes, it used the gold color, it used the black color, and yeah, it does look good. But let's also take a look at what other models generate. And I like how it's sort of just used a gradient kind of a color here. I'm not sure if it's really visible in the camera, but this is not exactly the same color. It's more of a gradient kind of a look. They have used a bit of gold and a bit of black color is there. So yeah, this is more of a gradient look. But anyway, let's go ahead and see what Gemini came up with. And boy, oh boy, I would say that if you're sort of talking about that if I just look at a logo and it tells me what it is, then yes, this is really bang on. The logo is really, really impressive. So you can see that, hey, this is a very premium logo. It keeps the A in Aurelian, and then you also have a clock in the backdrop, which is quite, which just tells you that yes, it's meant for a watch brand. And then you also have this crown at the top, which I really like. So it's really positioning it as sort of the leader. So yes, I really like this image, but then you also have to see that it didn't use the black color that we mentioned. And we will get to transparency, but let's just take a look at what Ideogram came up with. So this is what it came up with. This is let's see the first generation. This is the first image that it generated. So no, I'm not even sure if you're able to see this properly. Now you should be. So yeah, does this look good to you? I don't think so. I don't really like this one. But yes, of course, design is subjective. Now let's take a look at the second image. This is the second image that we have. And yeah, I mean, it followed the prompt, but it doesn't look as premium as the result from Nano Banana did. And then this is the third one that we have. And the first gripe that I have here is that it didn't use the black color. Then the third issue is that how is this symbolic of a watch brand? I'm not very sure about that. And then lastly, this one looks more sophisticated, sure, but and you can argue that it's premium as well, but I'm not very sure that this looks really like a logo for a watch brand. So personally, I would say here that Google wins hands down. Yes, it didn't follow the prompt correctly, but just the logo itself is so good. It's so well detailed that it takes the cake for me easily. And then this is what ChatGPT came up with. So yeah, good results. It also used the crown here, which sort of symbolizes that yes, it's the leading brand. But yeah, I'm not very happy with the logo itself. Okay, but just keep in mind that yes, you can of course prompt these models again and ask them, hey, I want these changes, and it will do that. And yes, you have a similar option on Ideogram. We call this as the remix option. So you do that, you click on remix, and you can simply, it will just add this image as a reference. And yeah, just let me lock the focus. Yeah, and then you can just simply ask it to make the changes to the image. Okay, and it will do that. So all these platforms allow you to make changes to the images. So that is something that you can do. Now let's talk about the main thing, which is transparency. And this is where things kind of get tricky. Okay, so now from what it seems that if you just look at this image from ChatGPT, you will see these white and gray boxes. So on the basis of that, you might conclude that hey, this seems to be a transparent image. And then if you go to Gemini, then you also have these right, you have these black and gray boxes, which might make it seem that hey, it is transparent. And if we go to Ideogram, then we don't have anything like that, right? So we are not very sure if the images are transparent or not. Now let's take a look at whether these images are in fact transparent. Because the thing is that if I open this thread, then it says that, hey, I asked Nano Banana to remove the background and it looked great at first. But when I downloaded it, turns out it was just a fake PNG. Who else has been fooled by this? So the image, Nano Banana generated this image and it added these boxes to the image. So the image itself is not transparent. It added these boxes to make it seem that, hey, the image is transparent, but it's actually not. So, which is why you have to open the image in a gallery and actually see whether the image is transparent or not. So, this image from ChatGPT, yes, it is actually transparent. You probably won't be able to see the text. I'm not sure if the text is legible. Now it should be. So, you can actually see the text now, but yes, this is a transparent image. Now let's take a look at the image from Gemini. And now as you can see those black and gray boxes. So this is a fake image. This is a fake PNG. Okay. And then we have this image from Ideogram. Okay, I just downloaded one of the images and no, it is not transparent. Okay, and another thing that you have to keep in mind here is that only PNG images can be transparent. JPG images cannot be transparent. And this image from Ideogram, this is more of what we will call a JPEG image. Okay, if I can just quickly show you the details of this image. That's what I'm trying to find out, if I can show you the details very quickly. Yep, we have the info icon here, and as you can see that yep, if you take a look at the extension here, it will say that hey, this is a JPEG image. So JPEG image and JPG images, they can't be transparent. Okay, so just simply keep that in mind. But the thing is, if you go back to Ideogram, then yes, you do have this option to remove a background. But when I click on it, then it will ask you to upgrade. So yes, if you are on one of their premium tiers, then yes, you will get 1000 priority credits and you can remove background in one click. Okay, but a quick workaround for that is that you can just simply download, let's say if you like Google's image better, you simply download it and you just simply upload it to ChatGPT and you can just ask it to remove the background. Okay, so that is one way to go about it. Or if you like an image from Ideogram, download it, you can upload it to ChatGPT and ask it to remove the background. So that's one way to go about it if you are on the free tier. Now let's take a look at the final batch of images that we have. So ChatGPT ended up generating two images here. So we'll take a look at both. But let's take a look at the prompt itself. Okay, so the prompt is a modern eco-friendly logo for a sustainable company called Green Pulse. Okay, and note that there is pulse in the name. So let's see how they use that. And then we have a leaf inspired icon, fresh green palette, simple clean vector design. Now this is what ChatGPT came up with. Okay, so these are the two images that we have. So in the first image, you can see that, hey, it's kind of like a heart rate pulse that it is using. So what I really like here is that firstly, it deciphered what pulse is and it actually used it. And then, yes, it maintains that green color like we asked to use in the prompt, and then the same goes here. It used the green color. This one is dark, this one is light, so and then we have this gradient at the top, but we don't have like a pulse here. Okay, so yes, it's these are good, I would definitely see, but let's check out what Gemini and Ideogram came up with. So this is Gemini. Okay, and well, if you talk about just being straight to the point, then I just like how minimal this design is. Okay, so it used the green colors. The text beneath is dark, and then the text beneath sustainable solutions is lighter, but I just really like how simple the logo is, right? Like green leaf, and then they just have a simple pulse over it. And I'm not very sure what do you call this thing in the leaf which sort of divides it between into two halves, but I really like how it sort of just used the pulse sign and just took that to the leaf. So yeah, this is what you call as creativity, I think. So this one, I love this design out of the three generations that we have seen so far. And then this is what Ideogram came up with. Okay, so yes, it also used a pulse design. It used the heart rate pulse that we have here. And then let's take a look at the second generation. This is what it generated. Then the third generation, this kind of looks like it created a G out of it. I like this, but yeah, pulse is still not there. And then this is the final one that we have. You can also maybe argue that this is not exactly a G, but maybe it also looks like a heart, maybe like the outline of the heart. So yeah, that is completely up to you. But what I loved in the generation from Google is how it simply just used, I think you call it this the nib of the leaf or what, I'm not really sure of the exact specific term, but I just loved how it just used the pulse icon here, right? So in the terms of how clean the design is, I personally prefer Gemini here, hands down. ChatGPT also came up with some solid generations. Personally, I like this one more, but yeah, it's not as good as Gemini here in my opinion. Okay, but again, as you can see, all these models, all these logos, even if you end up, let's say, using anything from Ideogram here, even this is not a bad logo, right? If you end up creating Green Pulse and you use this logo, then yes, any of these logos is good, right? So it's sort of like we're nitpicking here, right? That, okay, this model performed this generation better, this one did it better, etc., etc. So yeah, this is really nitpicking, but hands down, if you just compare all of these models, then yes, all of these models all of these logos are good individually, okay? But when we are comparing, then yes, I prefer Gemini here. So what are the results that we have? So we saw 3 generations. This was the first one that we have for Novabyte. And I kind of like this generation here from Ideogram. But again, this is a very sort of like, I liked how it used the shapes here. So again, this is subjective. You can see which logo you found better. So personally, I thought Ideogram did better here. Then for Aurelian, for the watch brand Aurelian, I liked logo. I liked how Google did this generation, but it didn't follow the prompt exactly, or it didn't use black color as such, but I simply loved this generation, to be honest. And then finally, we have Green Pulse, and like I told you, I simply loved how it used the pulse sign here. So yeah, out of the 3 comparisons that we did, Gemini takes it for me in 2 of them, and that's why I'm going to say that, hey, if you are looking for ChatGPT versus Ideogram, put Gemini into the comparison, add Nano Banana to the comparison here, it does much better, okay? So there is that, and another thing which you have to keep in mind is that all of these models support two things. Okay, so there is one thing which is called as text to image. You simply give it a text prompt like we did, and it will put out an image for you. The other things which all of these models support is image to image, like we saw in that remix feature. Okay, so if you want to make any edits to an image, then this is where image to image comes in. Okay, you pass it an image, you tell it that, hey, just make these edits to the image, and it will do that for you. Okay, so that's what happens in image to image. And what we have, why I'm showing you this platform is called AI for Chat.co. And the great thing about this platform is that if you go to text to image, then you go get all the models in here. Okay, so they have got a bunch of models. This platform has a bunch of models that you can use. So if you don't want to juggle tabs, etc., then you can also go ahead and use this platform and generate the images here. Or you can just simply use all these tabs individually. But just the issue with that is you will have to juggle multiple tabs. Here you can just kind of get the images, create the images in the same platform. And there's also an image playground here that where you can kind of compare all the images side by side. So you can upload images if that's what you want, and then you can also select the models here. So we have got models from Ideogram. There is the I think the GPT models are present here somewhere as well. Yeah, so the Nano banana models are present, as you can see, and then the GPT models are, yes, there we are. There we have the GPT models. Okay, so this is GPT-4o image. This is GPT-4o image high. And so yeah, you have the options here, and you can use any of these models that you want. And just the best thing about this platform is that you can compare all these models. You can give them the same prompt, and it will you can compare the results in the same interface. Okay, so that's the point itself. But yeah, all these models, even if you are on the free tier of ChatGPT, Gemini, or Ideogram, all of these give you solid generations. There is nothing that either of these platform is lacking, even in the free plan. But yes, if you want more credits, then you can consider upgrading, or you can also use AI for Chat like I showed you. Okay, so yeah, that is it. I think just keep in mind, and the final thing that I will leave you with is that none of these models is bad. If you feel that, hey, that this image did not turn out as per my expectations, just simply ask the AI model to do those edits. Whatever edits you have in mind, you want Gemini to make. Let's say I did not want it to use blue in the backdrop, but actually use blue in the image. I could have just simply asked it to do, and it would have done those edits for me. Okay, so that is just something that you have to keep in mind. All these models are world class, and individually, all these logos look great. Okay, all the logos that we have generated, whether it's for Noahbyte, whether it's for Aurelian, whether it's for Green Pulse, all those logos individually are fantastic. Okay, and you can use any of these. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you found this video helpful. If that was the case, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I try to make helpful videos like these. If you have any video suggestions, then you can definitely drop those suggestions down in the comments, and any questions that you have, I'll try to get back to you at the earliest. And yeah, I hope overall this video was helpful. Like, subscribe, follow, you know the drill. Make sure you subscribe. That really helps in pushing out this video to more people. And I hope you have a great day and a lovely week ahead, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.